So welcome back to the channel everyone, Triple M here, and today I wanted to do a follow-up to the Z Fold 3. So for you guys that are subscribed, you know that I did the unboxing, I did the first impression, and this phone has a lot of features that definitely is worth it in my opinion. I'm still working on the full review. I have been heavily using this. This is my primary device right now, so hopefully I'll have enough information to give you a full review here in the near future. But what I wanted to do today is go over 5 things I like and 5 things I dislike about this device so far. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the outer screen. So this screen is awesome. They did make a size change from the first generation to the second, and third gen keeps that original size. Very nice to have. Very capable screen. You can have access to all your apps, you can get to your websites, you can watch video. This screen can do everything that your smartphone can. However, what I found is that typing on this is not that great. So the keyboard itself, guys, it's pretty tiny, so just fitting your fingers on the buttons, that's where I see a lot of issues and typos. So let's see if I can type a full sentence. So try to type "what's the weather like in Orlando?" and this is what I got. So not terrible, but just really frustrating that you're going through text messages or whatever, and even with one-handed swipe, you're still gonna make those typos. So not a great experience typing on this little keyboard. It is there for when you're in a pinch, but when it comes down to it, guys, you want to go ahead and flip it out. You want to get some dual action going on, and that's where I find it more accurate. So just a little gripe, like I said, this screen is extremely functional. However, I do notice that when I am typing. So the other thing I noticed that I dislike about this phone, and this is just continuing on the home screen, is when you're playing videos, the ratio gets all jacked up. So let's go ahead and we'll just check out one of my videos. You do have the option to make it full screen, but it doesn't really take full advantage of the screen. Yes, you can zoom in, but what I noticed is when you zoom in, you crop out a lot of the actual screen. A lot of details are missing. You can see the difference there between zooming in and zooming out. So that's something that I feel like maybe the 4th generation will address. Maybe make the screen a little bit wider, 2:1 ratio, whichever one likes. When you open the actual device, it's not really taking full advantage of the entire screen. Zoom in is basically just cutting off the edges. So again, you're missing a lot of details, and it just seems like the screen is a waste of real estate. Not a huge deal, because you can go ahead and just do everything right here. Do everything right here, and it looks fine, but with this big screen, you kind of want to take advantage of it. So gripe number 4 is going to be the whole S Pen situation. And I'm not just going to blame it on this case. It's the whole idea of the S Pen not being a part of the body. So S Pen is there, yes, it works with the device, integrated decently, but the case that they provide, you pop it in, yes, it covers it, but this becomes a real pain when you're using it, especially when you're doing this. The case is flapping all over the place, the S Pen is in the way, and really haven't felt extremely comfortable using this case with the phone. So hopefully in the near future they can come up with a better way to integrate the S Pen, whether it's via case, but this one in particular doesn't do it for me. So gripe number 4 is going to be the under screen camera, and when I say that, I don't mean that the technology that involves, it's just the quality of it. So I love the fact that it is pixelated and it's really hard to see. So right now it is there, but you really only make it out when it's on black surfaces, and they do a pretty good job just blending everything in. Where I see an issue is when I actually try to use that camera. It's pretty standard, I would say. I wouldn't call it horrible, but it's definitely not something you want to take your good photos with. This is good for your video calls, your Skype, your Google Hangouts, and that's where I would leave it. So like I said, love the technology, love the under-screen camera, love the fact that they pixelate it to make it kind of match with whatever else is going on. Noticeable, not that noticeable, but it's better than the hole punch in my opinion, but it works great. But the good thing about that is that you have camera here, you have a camera here, so you have other options besides using that as your main driver. And last but not least on my dislikes is going to be the crease. So of course everyone knows that when you're buying this device, you're committing to having a crease dealing with it and just trying your best to get used to it. So over the past couple days I've been using it, guys. It has gotten a lot better. I don't notice it as much as I thought I would initially, and just using it, it works well. It blends in, and they do a good job with wallpapers just to make you not notice it, but it is still there, and it's always going to be there. And I can't say I have any recommendations, but the crease is alive, and it's definitely something I dislike, but something I'm willing to look over for this device. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go over some of the likes. So there's a lab section on this that would give you a lot of cool features. If you go to your settings, go to advanced, and here you have access to your lab. So the lab basically makes whatever app you have on the device compatible with this fold. So you can see within labs you have a couple options. So you have a multi-window for all applications, and I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. You have the option to auto rotate your application. So right now you can see all of them are turned off. I can go ahead and turn it on. You also have a split view option. You have a flex mode panel. When you click on that, it tells you that when your phone is folded upright, the app you're using will appear at the top of the screen and the panel will appear at the bottom. So we'll go ahead and test it out. Let's open Google Chrome. So here we are on Chrome, whatever's going on. Flip it up. You can still see Chrome is still there. It's kind of just divided into two screens. So not very useful, right? Now we go back in and we're going to go to Google Chrome. We're going to turn that setting on. All right, switched on. Back over to Google Chrome, fold it. And now you see the animation just saying we're going to move it to the top. We're going to have some settings right here, and we're just going to go ahead and click OK. So in my opinion, this becomes a lot better experience. This becomes like a little laptop, so you can go ahead and still navigate Google Chrome right there, but on the bottom you have some options. You can take a screenshot, you can adjust your brightness, you can adjust the volume, but it just makes it a lot more useful in my opinion. So labs, definitely check it out if you have this device. Just a ton of features just to make the apps work nicely with your new device. Another thing I love about this phone is that now you have a fluid device that works well together. So if you look at this screen, for instance, right here I have the separate menu, and right here I have the sub menu. So if I went to sound, all my sound stuff will pop up here, versus what would happen in normal phones. If you click on this, it'll occupy the entire screen. On this, you can essentially navigate to what you need to do, have the sub menu right there, and you can go on. Now this is the same with messages. You can see I have my messages right there, and the same thing with photos. So if I took a picture, let's go ahead and we'll take a picture of that, and we'll take a picture of that, and we'll take a picture of that. Now you can see it gives you a preview of the 3 pictures you just took, so you can still interact with these pictures. And in the meantime, if you want to take more, you do have the option to keep taking pictures until you get that shot you want. Now while we're in pictures, they do have a preview mode. When you click on that, it tells you that you cover previews on. So now when you flip the phone, this makes it a lot easier to take selfies, frame what you're doing, and take the photo that you want. Notice that it does have the same split screen view that we demonstrated on Google Chrome. So some apps by default have it, this one did, and if your app doesn't have it, you can always turn it on via the settings in labs. So app grouping is another thing that I find very useful. So for me, with a device this big, I'm always working on multiple applications. So if you like to have one app on one side of your screen, other app on the other, there's a great way to do it via the side panel. So if you swipe, you can see I have some presets, YouTube and Google Chrome. All right, so my YouTube's right there, Google Chrome's right there. Simple enough, seamless experience, and it works well in my opinion. So to set that up, all you need to do is hit the 3 lines and just gonna pick the 2 apps that you want to group. So in this case, let's say I wanted to do my camera. We'll click on that and we'll just hit open in split view. And now we get to pick a second app. Let's say I wanted to group my camera with my analytics speed test. So you can see my speed test is right there. So all I need to do now to group them is hit the 3 dots in the middle. There's a grouping right there. You do have options to swap them. You also have the option to rotate them. Let's go ahead and rotate it back. But also the third option is to group them. So you can see now they're grouped, they went to the side. So now if I get out of it, go back in, you can see it's right here. So whenever I wanted to quickly get into my camera and my speed test for whatever reason, that option is there. Now just continuing the theme of the size of the screen and just taking full advantage of it, guys. I love the fact that they have the option between you going to Google Now or your Samsung Free. So you swipe to the left, you can see I am in Google Now, and this is basically going to give me my recommendations, topics that I'm interested in, so everything's right there for me. However, you could change that to Samsung Free, which is a free live TV service that Samsung offers. So to set that up or to change it, go ahead and pinch. When you swipe to the left, you have the option to switch between Google or Samsung Free. So let's go ahead and we'll switch to Samsung Free. We'll go home. All right, terms of use, we'll go ahead and agree. And you can see I have live TV right here. I have a nice little TV guide. I have different categories, sports, reality show. So everything's all set up for me. And now when I swipe, Samsung Free will pop up instead of Google Now. So like I said, I like this. I probably switch it back to Google Now, but either way, I like both options being there. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the actual S Pen integration. The S Pen is an all new design tailored specifically for this screen. So if I take the S Pen from the Note, and we'll go ahead and we'll try that out. So I take the S Pen and I try to write on this, it's gonna come up and give me this error saying, hey, only use S Pen designed for your Galaxy Fold. So it's telling you, warning you, it detects that this is not the correct pen, and it prevents you from potentially damaging the screen. So back to the regular S Pen that works. Like I said, you have all the different options here. This one, it does have a retractable tip that just makes it a lot safer. The tip is also a lot softer, makes it safer to use it on this screen. So of course with the S Pen, you can draw whatever you want to do. Pretty cool. You can use it to navigate your website if you guys want a different experience as far as using your thumb or whatever the case is. One thing I should point out is that the S Pen does not work on the outer screen. So if you get here, try to write, it's not going to work. This is for your fingers only, which is something that I do miss from the Note. Because if you guys remember the Notes, all you needed to do is just pull it out, and then you can start writing on the external screen, which I found pretty useful. Sometimes you're running around, you don't have time to open an application, you can just yank it out, take a quick note, put it back in, saves it, and you don't have to worry about it. However, like I said, this S Pen is optional on the Fold. I see why it's not as integrated as the other pen. Some people like it, some people don't. For us Note users, the S Pen is the must-have, and I definitely wanted to pick it up. So just a quick video of the new Z Fold 3. 5 things I liked, 5 things I dislike. I'm sure I'm going to discover some more things. So if you guys have any additional questions about this phone, just drop it in the comments. Also, keep one of these around because these screens, they pick up fingerprint like it's nobody's business. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.